Hey guys, I realized that it looks like stream's been on for about a minute and a half now. Just working on getting some back end stuff started and going here. This is actually my first time streaming live on the YouTube. I've done a bunch of lives in the past on the Book of Faces, and I've actually have various content here on my YouTube channel that I've recorded in the past. But this is the first time I've actually been live on YouTube, and let me actually switch over real quick and just show my face, say hello, and like I said, I'm just trying to get some things set up here on the back end, and I'll be right back with you guys once I get that set up, and we'll go ahead and get started. So I did see that the heat press itself did go off a moment ago, and so it's ready to go. And I'm just going to try to, let me see if I get some background music going on so we're not just listening to me work in silence, if you will. Get that going. See some notes here. Bitrate stream. Should be good to go here. And yeah. All right, so having a couple of issues here. Let's see if I can get this going now. So weird. It's maybe just a glitch, if you will, with YouTube. And what I'm trying to do right here, try to do this for one more second. That's interesting. Not sure. If anybody is in the chat, are you guys actually here? I'll try to pull it up on maybe on my phone, but are you guys hearing, if anybody's on, comment, are you hearing any music in the background? If not, no big deal. I'll just start without it. It's really more just for the ambiance, if you will. But if anybody can comment and let me know that, that would be helpful. Otherwise, like I said, I'll just move on and get to the main, make the main thing the main thing. It looks like it's playing in one spot, but not another. Let me echo here for a second. Not working there. I don't know why that is. That's odd to me. And I'll try to figure it out for a future show. Not that big of a deal. We'll just move on. Let me go ahead and pause this since that's not playing, and I don't know why. I'm going to try one more time. Odd to me just because I know it was working yesterday. And it may be working now. It's weird that it's not playing out of my speakers, but it looks like it's playing in the stream itself. So let's double check it. There's just going to be some downtime within the video itself when I'm doing different things, and I just prefer to have it and I do hear it there in the stream. So all right, so we're good now. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I don't know how the volume is on that. It sounded kind of low, but I also didn't hear myself at the same time. Nonetheless, we're gonna get started. Hopefully I hit shuffle on that. We'll move over here and get on going. Hopefully, let me see where this other window went for the chat, and I am not seeing it at all. Where did my chat window go? No. All right, well, maybe I'll use this one. That should be okay. Let me pop over here in front of the heat press. Unfortunately, with the setup in here, oh my gosh, I've got this so low right now. It's a lot lower than I usually have it. So basically I'm gonna be pressing beverage insulators, koozies this evening. Got the heat press set up for it. It's already on 425. I'm gonna press these at 25 seconds. If you haven't pressed these before, I've got them available on my website itself. I can link that later. I know it's linked in profile, but anybody that's watching this, you most likely have already seen that in the past and know how to get access to it. But I know on YouTube, public platform, there may be people that happen to join in that may not know where it's at. So I'll talk through that as well. But got the camera itself set up, kind of zoomed in on the heat press itself. That's going to be the main purpose of this video itself, is just hanging out, having a chat. Anybody who wants to or can join in. You know, it's Thursday evening, and I would appreciate if anybody does just say hi. And other than that, yeah, started off slow here, first time on YouTube, but we're gonna kick it off and go ahead and get started doing these koozies. I do have the regular size 12 ounce and then also the skinnies as well. Excuse me. I'm gonna start off with the regulars and just work through it. And if there's any comments, questions, whatever, I'll try to answer anything. And other than that, I'm just gonna get right into making these and doing them. I'm gonna start off just dropping down some butcher paper, protect my bottom platen from getting any ink on them. These will be done via sublimation. And so I've got all of my transfers already printed out. This is for one side of these koozies. This is a different side, just different background picture on. How well that comes across in the stream. But yeah, so first thing I'm gonna do, I know from past experience, I can fit roughly 2, 4, 6 of these on as I go. I'm gonna use my lint roller. This one's actually pretty dirty as of right now. I don't know how well that's showing, focusing, whatnot on the actual roller itself, but this is pretty dirty, so I'm gonna peel this off. We'll get a new piece on here and just take sure. I don't know if you can even see, like on here, some of these come across. I'm trying to make it focus. I can't really see the screen because it's across the room from where I'm at, but they've got some little pieces occasionally on them that make them not exactly clean. So I just lint roll. If I see anything in particular, if I just take a look and it looks clean, I don't really worry about it so much. But some side, if I see some specks, I'll go ahead and hit it up. This the design itself is full color, so if there's any individual small speck missing in it, it's not going to be seen. But I just try to go through and hit them anyways, just in case there's something on there, particularly if I see it. But don't have to be super critical, because the whole thing itself is going to be printed, so I don't have to worry about some pieces being left white or anything like that. So those are lint rolled, ready to go. Unfortunately, I'm going to end up spraying these transfers with a temporary adhesive spray, and unfortunately I don't do that in this room because I have all sort of sensitive electronics and different things in here, and really just don't want my floor getting sticky, and that stuff just goes everywhere. So when I go to spray these, and I'm going to do this a lot throughout the process of this evening while I'm live, I'm, for better or worse, I'm going to basically step out of this room. I'm going to spray them where I've got a large box set up, and I just spray over the box itself. Unfortunately, I just don't have the room in here to do that, but really just to protect the room, if you will, and electronics I have in here. I just don't want to have to deal with having to clean up sticky mess. So I go spray these elsewhere. I'm going to go do that real quick, and then I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. If anybody has joined in, I cannot tell it all from this view that I have up, but if you are here, feel free to say hi. Got the temporary adhesive on here. I'm gonna go ahead and just try to align these the best I can. Drop that down, and I'll show you in just a moment the reason for that. And it's really because if you've done sublimation before, you know that the transfer has to be on the top side of this when I press it, so that the heat from the heat press itself will be able to apply to the transfer. And the alignment of is a whole lot easier to do this, and then I can basically do that, so I can flip it over and I don't have to worry about the alignment because I know it's aligned. And that's the power, purpose, all the things of that adhesive. So I've got 3 done. I'm going to do 3 more. And like I said, that's really the main reason I kind of wanted to get that background music started at the beginning of, because I knew for sure that I'd be stepping away quite a bit when I'm spraying this down. When I do it, literally it's just a really quick light mist, and I'm gonna go do that on these, and then I'll be right back. All right, and I wish there was a better way I could hold that moment, if you will. I don't know how to phrase that any differently than, you know, when I'm stepping in and out of here. I know in some streams people throw up some like be right back type imagery, and I may do that in the future, but I'm literally going to be in and out, in and out, in and out doing these. And so I'd rather not have to change the screen over and over and over to a be right back, be right back. So please just bear with me when I do that. Again, just placing these on as best I can in terms of centering. Now I do know, because I've done some other ones of these prior, in terms of where the actual logo is, I try to actually place the koozie itself down a little ways, and I'm trying to look at like this bottom part. Not really a big deal for purpose of this, but I just thought I would mention it because that's what I'm doing. So, and that's mainly what I'm trying to do throughout this evening, is just I've got all these to do, and I figured I would stream it somewhere. And tonight, the YouTube was a location of choice. because I haven't streamed here before, so I was trying to figure that out in terms of the process platform. Obviously, YouTube's been around forever. I'm not the first by any means to stream here, but trying to reach a new audience, if you will. So those are all down. I'm sure that was really loud on the stream. All these are now face up in terms of my transfer and sublimation. If you're familiar, now I'm going to cover this with my cover paper, and that's going to protect my platen. What I should have done earlier is check my pressure on this. I had pressed these prior in terms of like a week and a half ago. I pressed some other ones. So I think this is good to go in terms of the pressure. So I'm just going to trust it. But ultimately, when I drop this down, I mean, that's a kind of firm 2-finger press on there. I mean, probably like a one hand, if you will, to get that done. So if anybody has any questions, if anybody is actually joined in, feel free to let me know, drop a comment. Hopefully I'll see it. I have a chat window up on a moderation side of the video, but I haven't seen any comments come through, so I don't know if that's actually working or not. That beeping means we're done. It's only 25 seconds to press these. I try to bring this off as easily as I can to not shift these transfers, because sometimes you can get some ghosting with that. So far these are coming out really, really well. I don't know how that's showing on the camera because I know it's got some distance there, but just as an example, great color. No kind of ghosting or anything there. Try to hold it still. And yeah, so that's one side of those. I'm going to go through and try to do a bunch of these on with that design all on one side, and then I'll go back and do the other. So that was 6. Now, I don't know if you can see it, if that comes across on camera, but there is small amounts of the blue that kind of bled through all the way around here. Again, I don't know how the lighting is on that, but effectively that right there basically protected my bottom platen from getting that ink onto it that could then transfer to the next set, if you will. Now there are some moisture lines on here. Again, I don't know what comes across and what you can kind of see on the camera. I didn't pre-press those. I've known from the past that I just don't necessarily have to, but occasionally I'll do what I just did there. Just drop the heat press down, and that heat itself will just dry out that bottom platen, bottom pad. Drop in another page, and I did see a comment from Angie. Looks good. Thank you, I appreciate it. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab 6-ish more of these. 2, 4, 6. What I'm going to do for the time being, because the bottom of this one is kind of mashed, I'm just going to move on from that one. What I would typically do is just throw it in the heat press and just flatten it out, but this one's not as bad. I can probably work with that one. But what I'll do later on, just for the sake of the stream and trying to keep things rolling and moving along, I'm just going to try to find ones that are flat. But occasionally, the way they're packaged, they get squished a little bit, and you just got to work with them. Again, here I'm just trying to do quick visual inspection, looking for any significant dust, lint, trash kind of ish dirtiness on here. If there's not any, I saw something just fall off here, take care of that. Just make sure that they're clean, because if there is big chunks of anything, those will block the surface from having the ink transfer itself. So I'm gonna grab 3 more, and I'm going to step away for a moment. I'm going to go spray these. If you just joined in, the temporary adhesive that I use for this, it makes a mess. Everything gets sticky, and so over the years I've learned, basically I've got another area set up. It's actually out in my garage right now, where I've got a very, very large box set up, and I spray over that. And so I'm stepping out of here just so the mist of that doesn't get everywhere and just ruin stuff in here where I've just got to clean and so on and so forth. So I know I can make a mess out there and not affect anything. So I'm gonna step out and do that, and I'll be right back. And Angie, if you're still in here, because you're the only person that I've seen comment so far, can you let me know how, if you're still here, let me know how the audio itself is, combination between my volume, speaking volume, and the music volume itself. Is either one too loud, too low? Should I make any adjustments? This is my first stream on YouTube. And so in setting things up, I had to make different adjustments. And it's just, in doing so, a little bit different than when I typically stream on the Book of Faces. Coding that right there. So yeah, I wasn't sure how the audio is here, different or anything. And Chuck, awesome, both of you guys said, sounds good. Thank you, thank you. Chuck, welcome. You've got a couple of my streams now recently. Had me on the Tiki Talk, what was that, a week and a half ago? I think, because I don't think I've streamed over there since I've been back from the cruise that we went on, which was amazing. I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna do these three, spray these, and I'll be right back. All right, super light mist on that, but enough that it would just destroy stuff in here. If you know, you know. Yeah. Chuck, have you done the neoprene koozies before? I know you sublimate a lot and you've been in the biz of making things for a while. A lot of people, I'd gotten a lot of comments a while back when I changed the instructions on these to 25 seconds. And that's what I do them at now. So I do these at 425 degrees for 25 seconds. Try to get these dropped down nicely here. And they're like 25 seconds. There's no way that can work because, you know, the standard kind of baseline, if you will, for sublimation. So many people are used to the minute-long presses, you know, 400 degrees at 60 seconds type thing. And I had pressed these at that myself many times prior. And I ran into doing some probably, you know, it was probably 3 years ago now. Just checking. So paper itself is long, so I just do this, try to see if my items here are just kind of roughly centered in the platen. I just hate for them to get shifted one way or another, so I try to do them in the center. Have not much anymore. So yeah, basically what I was doing a couple years ago though, I had a job where I was doing, I think it was 100 or 150 of these for a local old longtime friend, and she was getting into doing her own like massage business, and it had some fine text on it, and I was having a problem with that text itself. It was so small, and whether it was ghosting or just wasn't coming out clear. And so I was, you know what, I know there's a way to do it. So I started playing around with settings and everything, and ultimately figured out that, yeah, you can actually do these and they come out beautifully. 425, yeah, I'm sure you can't see that. 420 right now, but set at 425 for 25 seconds. I think I've got 28 seconds on here, and I try to pull it a couple seconds early just because I get tired of hearing the heat press beep. I did let it run long enough earlier that it did, but that's it. 3, 2, 1, and I pulled it. Yeah, it's at 23 seconds actually on there is what I've got that set at. So 20-ish seconds of actual press time, and they come out incredible. And so I updated like that right after I did it. I updated my website with those settings to share those with you guys, and similar to the ones I just did a few minutes ago that come out super vibrant. Obviously it's just one side, still got to go back and do the other side. But I've already done, if you saw in the, I don't know what's it called, kind of pre-show event thing that I made, posted some pictures of ones I'd done for the same client, for Matt. For Matt's not on here. I should have sent him a message telling him I was going to do this. He's over in Texas, and but I'd done, basically he had ordered 100 of them, and there's 4 different, or 2 different designs, if you will, but we're doing the regular size koozies that I'm doing now, and then also the skinnies as well. So kind of playing around with doing all these. I've already done all the black ones, both sides, and these, you know, I'm just doing the colored ones now. So how's everything going with you, Chuck? What have you been up to? Have you been staying busy? I guess that's a good question to ask. That's 5, there's 6 here, throwing off big chunks of thread there. This still looks okay. Try to clean these up. Just small, tiny specks from the thread manufacturing on here, and usually don't even see it, and I mean, it would probably be easy just to hit every side too. It's not that big of a deal, but usually unless I see something significant. Should be good. All right, so we've got 6 of those ready to go. And let's just keep on rolling through. I'm gonna grab 3 of these. When I first started doing these, I was only doing 2 at a time, just because it's easy to hold 2 of these in my hand and spray them. And I realized, hey, if I can fit 3 in my hand and get enough open area in here, I can't really do another one because the page, just they're hitting my hand here and here. But by doing 3 of them, it saves me a trip out there to go spray them. So that cut down some time. But let me go hit these, and I'll be right back. All right, so I've got these set up. I do apologize for the awkward angle. I am here, but I decapitate myself because really the heat press and what I'm doing is kind of more the star of the show here, and really just trying to show the process, do the work, share with you guys, hang out, chat a little bit. It's pretty good. Got 3 set there. Let's grab 3 more transfers. I think that's 3. Making sure that I didn't grab extras in between here. 3 there. Like a big stack of like playing Uno and your deck is, your hand's too full. All right, let me hit these and I'll be right back. goodness. I just realized I had my mic muted for a while there. Holy smoke. So let me repeat a bunch of what I just said. Butcher paper. Whew. Here, let me press this real quick. I'll just re-answer all of that. I apologize because I talked a lot there. Whenever I go out and spray, usually I've been muting, just walking through here and spraying, and apparently I forgot when I came back. But I will answer that in one moment. Let me get these pressed and I'll re-say all of what I said while I was muted. I apologize. All right. Same thing here. Nothing new yet. Hopefully these are all good still. I did have a couple of them when I was pressing the black ones. I don't know why, but this one right here, it was in that position. I pressed about 4 or 5 of them. I forget the exact number. A few of them, for some reason, that were right here, came out really, really light. I think I might have thrown them away. I have to look. I know I took a picture of them, but it was weird that it was always that one spot. All right, real quick, butcher paper. So I don't know if you saw me pull it off the roll. That's how I have it as well. What I was saying a moment ago, and I'll come down here so I can actually talk to you, was that I know Sam's used to have it. A lot of people got it from Sam's. The 18-inch roll, I want to say it was 100 feet, and it was like 20 bucks. A ton of people had ordered that. It was an amazing deal. Unfortunately, my Sam's never carried it in store. I was told that I could potentially order it. I read that online, that you could order it from the store itself. I never did that. I've actually pretty much, when I first started getting rolls of butcher paper, I got them from Amazon. The prices on Amazon have gotten crazy, and anymore, honestly, it's kind of high there. I get it now from Uline. If you're familiar with Uline, I get all my boxes from there, the empty boxes that I ship orders in. And but a lot of people complain about the price of shipping from Uline, and I won't disagree by any means that it is seemingly high. I've never tried to like price out to compare what it is, but I feel like every time that I order from Uline, the amount of shipping that I pay, it's usually $50 to $75 in shipping alone, on effectively for empty boxes for the most part. But I do get the butcher paper roll there as well. It's just, for me, I've ordered probably 3 rolls from Uline. Never had a problem with it. They seem to always have it in stock, and it's just become a good, reliable source for me to get it. Certainly not the best price by any means. I wish I had a better source where I could tell you, hey, this is a great deal, and similar to what we're able to get before from Sam's, but I hadn't seen anything like that yet. Yeah, so, and I don't do the sheets. I get it off the roll as well. So that's what I tried to show a while ago, was I pulled it out far enough that I had the roll. So yeah, you're saying, I think that's like nationwide. I've seen that in a variety of the groups on Facebook. I try not to talk when I'm tearing this, because I know that's crazy loud. But yeah, I believe was the case, where it was kind of nationwide-ish, where pretty much all the locations had stopped. So I know you've been in here for a little bit. Appreciate you hanging out. So since you have been, all these fronts are done on however many that is. What, 6 times 3, 18. So I need to do another set plus 1 to get to the 25 of these that I need. But for the time being, I only have 2 more in this bag, which does not get me to said 25. So I have to open another bag. But rather than do that, I'm just going to go ahead and knock these out on the back side first, and then we'll have some completed ones, front and back. And to do that, these are a slightly different design. This is a more of a warmer evening sunset versus this is a nice blue daytime sky. Background that was requested for these. So I'm gonna take these 3, get those ready to go. I'm gonna spray these, and I'll be right back, and hopefully I remember to unmute this time. All right, and I'm back, and I hit the button. All right, make sure we do the backs. Pretty simple to do because we got the design on the front. It's weird to me when I say front and back on a koozie because there's not really a front and a back. Like, it's more side A, side B, I guess. And feel free, I mean, obviously I'm doing these, so I know just by nature of working and doing this, the questions, comments, that sort of thing will probably be more centric to doing this. But if you have any questions about anything else that I do, or I don't know, blanks, anything, weather, I don't really care. Ask away. Any topics, whatever. And we'll just chat it up. Have a good evening of the things. I'm gonna go spray these real quick. All right, and we're back. So, and that's been my thing lately. I have done a few more lives lately. I've been experimenting with trying to do them on some different platforms. I used to almost exclusively do lives on Facebook, and it's honestly bothered me a bit the way that they've changed their live streaming. I don't want to say policy, if you will, but it is their policy. It's their retention policy, in that the live videos are only available for 30 days. Now, after that 30 days, you can, I mean, at any point during that, you can go download it, and then I could re-upload that video and it would stay longer. But the live video itself, it's only available for 30 days. And so the comments that are seen within the stream, you know, like, those are lost by anybody that goes back to try to rewatch them later. Obviously, you know, if I just talk through it in the conversation and answer it, I guess you kind of get some context out of it. But I enjoy kind of the whole thing being there. So that was really my purpose for trying here on YouTube, because I'm pretty confident that once this is over, I can retain this on the channel itself and not have to worry about it being erased right afterwards. I've streamed 5 or 6 times now, maybe, on TikTok. Those are gone instantly. I mean, there's a back end portion of that I can still see them and I can download them. Potentially could do the same thing, but from the live stream itself, or from like the channel perspective of TikTok, there's no way for anybody else to view that content afterwards. And for the platform itself, I think it probably makes sense over there. But yeah, for me and what I do for this sort of stuff, I know it's probably not a big deal that, like, for this specific kind of hangout, chat, do a whole bunch of koozies, it doesn't make sense to have. I don't know how long have I been on here? 45 minutes? Like, I don't know how many people are going to come and spend 45 minutes or an hour, or however long I'll be on this evening, to like rewatch the whole thing. But you know, even if you come in and watch the first 10-ish minutes of this, when I got everything set up and you know, pressed kind of the first ones of these, you get the idea and you know, proof of concept, if you will, for this. So, and I like that being there for you guys, for the viewers, to be able to see those get completed. So now we've got side, I'll call it B, and side A that I pressed to begin with. Those turned out really, really nicely. I should probably tag Mr. Matthew in this, or his wife, Chelsea, that run Surf Shack Golf. Let's see if I can do that real quick. Let's share. Let's copy. Let me close that. I apologize. Bear with me for one moment. I think that's over here. Not that one. Where's my other page? There it is. Sorry. Dead air. All right, shared that out to her. And we'll keep on keeping on. So this sheet I can tell was used. This sheet, again, I don't know if you can see on the stream, but I can see there's a little bit of moisture outlines on that. I'm just gonna hit this real quick, a couple seconds there, just to dry that up. Don't like the moisture being there. Moisture is a sublimation enemy. Since these are done, I'm going to set these aside right over there. And man, it drives me nuts. There's nowhere to see, like, yeah. On every other stream platform I've seen, it's usually like number of live viewers. Not that it's a big deal, but fun to see if there's 5 people here or 500. I doubt there's 500. I know there's not 500, but there's some order of magnitude. It doesn't show on my end. But we got these side A done. I'm gonna go spray side B, and I'll be right back. Alright, and I'm back. Let's drop these down. And I realized too, I sent out some messages and tried to share this out. I know I'm streaming on YouTube, but I sent some stuff out on my Book of Faces business page that I'd be doing this. I did link it, but right after I press, when I get the 6 of these together, I'll probably pause for a moment as well, because I just thought about there may be some people having some issues joining because they may be confused about how to get here because of the way that I shared that out. So I may just take a moment and just check some comments, or just to see if there are any comments and or confusion. But in the meantime, we've got those. I'm gonna go spray these with my temporary spray, and we'll press them, and I'll be right back. All right, and we're gonna hit these 3 more. Get these laid out in place. Said neoprene koozie / beverage insulator. There's a reason for that. If you're not aware, similar to I guess tissue or Kleenex is a good example. A lot of people say, hey, grab me a Kleenex. Kleenex itself is the brand, and that is trademarked. Koozie is as well. Koozie is trademarked. So it's a no-no to use the term koozie in product listings, because they have been known to come after you So we use the term beverage insulator to avoid that. And that's the purpose there. Flip all these over so they can sublimate. Pretty well centered. And tear off our cover paper. And we'll press 3 more, or 6 more rather. While those are pressing, I'm gonna go ahead and try to start jumping over here just to check on these pages. Probably gonna take too long, like back and forth, back and forth. Let me just do one thing at a time before I screw something up. Done that before. I can't remember what substrate that was, but that was a long time ago now that I had, I think it was a shirt in the heat press, and it was a minute-long press. Me over here talking, but I can't see the other screen to make sure that I'm not, okay, I'm not muted this time. 60-second press, dropped the platen down, walked over the computer, started responding to a couple messages, and inevitably the heat press itself went off. Mentally, I either checked out completely and didn't hear it, or I heard it and I said, hey, I'll be right, I'll get to it in just a second. And I never got, well, I did get back to it, but it was like 3 minutes later and that shirt was cooked. It was ruined. So that was fun. So when I'm pressing things now, I try to be cognizant of that and make sure that I don't try to do too many things at one time, because I don't want to mess up substrates. But these are good now. 6 more of those done. Real quick, I'm gonna check on the, oh, there's those other chat. That's where it went. I don't know why it was hidden a moment ago, but all right, let's see if I scroll down here. All right, no comments on that page. Let me check one more page that I know I posted on. And I just want to make, what in the world? Oh, yeah, duh. How I got to that page, I don't know, but okay, and we're good. So I'm not seeing any crazy comments about where do I join? How do I join? Where are you? Nothing, no craziness here. All right, so good to go. Let's keep on keeping on. Cool. Cool. Drop some more butcher paper. Cover down. If you have just joined in, feel free to say hi. I'm just pressing some koozies, beverage insulators, just went over that. But I'd be doing these regardless. Yep, just in time. See, I just talked about it, and now I just got the message saying, are you live? I got the notification on my watch from a Facebook message, Book of Faces message. Hey, are you live? I can't find you. So let me go respond to that and say, yep, right there. I don't know why that's doing that. That's weird. What if I do it over here? All right, that should have worked. See if that did or not. I don't know. Actually, let me grab my phone. Just make sure I'm not in a rush trying to do this. Yeah, that message sent, and nothing crazy on the notifications. So we can keep on keeping on with these. Now I am noticing, so when I spray, it's so weird, when I look over at the screen that shows the camera of me and I see like waist only and I'm talking, it's it's awkward. Unfortunately, with the room and space that I have right now, right here, I can't really move. I mean, I can move the camera back like another 6 inches, but then it starts blocking when I need to get over the computer, and I just don't want to move it back and forth. So, but nonetheless, when I'm spraying and having these, I'm noticing I've got some arm hair. No, anyhow, that I can kind of feel it almost when I move my hand, that it starts to stick. And so I've noticed here lately what I've been doing when I did all the other ones was I moved my watch to my other hand because I just don't want to get the adhesive all over my watch either. So it's kind of awkward wearing it in the other hand. My favorite product you have are the placemats and the towels. Yeah, absolutely. Those placemats have sold so incredibly well. When I first, you know, I don't know, Angie, I see your name on here, but I don't know what Angie you are, and that's fine. But when I first did the table runners, I did those first before I had gotten the placemats, and so many people had requested like, oh, this would be great if we kind of pair those together. And when I got those placemats in, the quality, the thickness of those placemats was like far exceeded my expectations. And as such, people have gotten them, like those just took off so well. Just the quality of those are phenomenal. And then obviously the towels, that, yeah, those have been a staple that everybody loves. I'm gonna go spray these and I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. Hold on 1 second. All right, and we're back. We're back. Hello, Miss Pam. Welcome to my first YouTube live. I've shared a variety of videos with you on YouTube that I have uploaded to my channel, some of them privately that nobody else can see, or very select few can see. So I know you've seen content over here, and I tell you to come over here to the YouTubes all the time. But welcome to my first YouTube live. Thanks for joining. You actually saw me, I don't remember where it was that I was live when I actually pressed, I think I did live when I pressed the black ones somewhere else. Somewhere else meaning like platform. Can't remember if I did that on the TikTok or on my Book of Faces page, but I know it was one of the two. I'm gonna go spray these and then I'll be back again. And I'm back. And I really do wish there was a different slash better way for me to, and Pam, you and I actually had, I think the last time when I did the other live, excuse me, I was talking about the adhesive spray itself, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you mentioned effectively that you probably use too much spray, And I was just talking about, I think right before you joined in, talking about how the little bit of mist, even that I used such small amount, after doing so many of these, I start to feel it on my hand, wrist, arm. And so literally, I'm sure you can see maybe you can see my tan line from my watch there, that I change it to the other hand to make sure I'm not overspraying and getting adhesive spray all over my watch. So it is awkward. I should just take it off, but it's nice whenever somebody will send a message or whatever behind the scenes, or you sent me a message a moment ago, where are you live? And I saw it on my watch. So I was able to get the link out to you. So that's why I do it instead of just taking it off. All right, we got all 6 laid out, and I think everybody's been here for a little bit, but if you're new, oh yeah, that's right, it was the on-the-go ones. Sorry, I just saw a comment. Thank you for that reminder. But yeah, so obviously, I think everybody that's here has been here for a bit, but obviously purpose of the spray is so that I can do that, so I can flip these over, and that the transfer itself is centered where I need it to be to press these. Oops, just flipped all those over. I'm gonna check, make sure we're kind of centered. And people do these completely different, and that's fine. Like, you know, do what works best for you. I've seen some people print out, like I printed these on a 13 by 19 sheet, and then I cut them up in my little guillotine cutter and all. But when I've seen some people literally will lay all the koozies out on the full sheet and just flip the whole sheet over. And if you can do that, amazing, great, incredible. More power to you. That like gives me crazy anxiety to try to do all those on one page, especially knowing that the koozies themselves, when they heat up, they expand and contract some. How that interacts with the paper and what it tries to do in terms of shifting the paper, does it because there's some adhesive on there. I haven't tried it. I don't want to risk it. I like doing it this way because that's what makes the most sense for me and keeps me the most comfortable. And I know from doing lots of these now, it's just what works for me. Feel free to experiment. If you want to do it differently, knock yourself out. I'm not going to tell anybody that they're doing anything wrong, as long as you're getting the end result that you need to get in delivering high quality product to your customer, client, that sort of thing. That's the end goal for everybody, hopefully. And it's just the way that try to achieve that in the most efficient manner for yourself. And this is what works for me. Press these for a few seconds. And by few, I mean like 20. And we'll pull this, and this will be all of the ones that I have pressed at all right now. So I kind of have to start over almost to some degree. Start over meaning like blank ones. Whoops, I almost dropped one. I was quick, caught it. All right. And we have good, I haven't showed this on the whole stream, good amount of transfer though. You can see how much lighter that is compared to the outline. Good amount of ink transfer. And some people, it's funny, years and years ago, I mean, I've seen this in all the groups, even saying like, oh, well, there's still some like printed image on that page. Can I use that again? I mean, you can see how much of the image itself was gone from there. I've actually never tried to press one again, but I know there's not enough ink on this to get that out of it again, for sure. So I'm not trying to waste substrates doing that, but ultimately we've got side, as I'll call it, B, because there's not really a front and a back on the koozie, but I like to call it a front and a back. But side A and a side B. We've got 6 more of those that are done. So now I'm up to 18 total that are done. I need to get 25 of those done. I only have 2 more in this bag. So let's grab, I felt that to see how hot it was before I set this cheap, inexpensive plastic on there, and I just didn't want it to like shrink up or melt or any of those good things. All right, so I might have 18. Can't do math in public. Math in public is terrible. But that'll get me up to 24, and that's 2 more down there, 25, 26. I only need 25. Throw our bottom paper down. First thing I want to do is grab my lint roller. Just quickly check these. See, like, I don't know if this will come up on the camera. Try to get to zoom in, but like you see that little stuff on here, right? So that's the main thing. I just try to look for that sort of stuff. If it doesn't have anything on it, like that I don't see, and again, I don't know what's coming across there on the camera. I can see that it's big in the screen, but I don't know how well focused that is. If I don't see anything on it, I kind of move on with these because the whole thing is getting an image anyway. So unless there's something significant, like, again, I don't know how significant that little piece truly is, but it's going to block some ink from getting on there, and then when it moves out of the way, now you get a little white dot in your print. So I just look for stuff like that. There's something on there, I give it a little roll with a lint roller, and if there's not, I just kind of go on. Now this is starting to get kind of stuff all over it. I'm trying to use my hand to force it to focus. It's probably still good to keep going, but I've got a bunch of these. It's crazy. Years ago, I bought like a 12 pack. And what I'm saying in terms of 12 pack, let me figure out what drawer they're in right here. Here. Of these rolls. And so these are Lint Busters Plus that I got off of Amazon, and it was literally a 12 pack, and I've had these for so long because I just don't go through a ton of them. Not as much as I probably should, but it's not that big of a deal to just, I know you got to tear off lint rollers. That's not anything new. People have been doing that for years, but I'd rather tear off and use extra sheets and making sure that I get stuff off as opposed to that sheet itself getting full of debris, lint, whatever, and then not pulling stuff off. So if maybe I can remind myself to drop a link for those in the chat if I don't remember to do that, or if you're curious of getting something like that of your own, just shoot me a message and I'll make sure I get the link over to you. I don't even remember how much they were. I literally bought those probably 4 or 5 years ago at this point, and I think I have like 8 more of those rolls left. Let me go spray these and I'll be right back. And we're back. And by we, I mean me. And it's a whole lot of rinse and repeat after you've seen the process. But I appreciate you hanging out with me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask away. It doesn't have to necessarily be relevant to this. Whatever you want to ask, feel free, and I'll try to answer. Some of the stuff I know it's a lot easier for me to answer. Like some things it's easier via text because you can share pictures, and some things it's easier via something platform like this because you can kind of expand upon it more verbally. Just communication in general obviously just is what it is. So, but if you have any questions, feel free to ask away and I'll answer if I can. If I miss a question, hopefully I'll see it in the chat afterwards and either respond there or respond directly. But I don't see any right now. Pam did say very nice, thank you. I'm gonna spray these in just a second. I'll be right back. Talking again without my mic on. I just realized there's somebody else I need to share this video out to that I did not. He's somebody that's in this community, meaning golf supplier, if you will, seller of golf equipment community. And he's been messaging about stickers and a couple other items for his store and shop. And we've been exchanging some messages, but then when we had first started doing that, I went on vacation and I was gone for an amazing, what was it, 8 days. Went down to Orlando, spent 2 days at Universal, and then hopped on a cruise ship. And I was gone for an entire week in the Caribbean, and it was glorious. It's nice and warm. Ship was amazing. We were on your cruiser, and I've had a couple people that when I've talked about it, they're like, oh, you're on this. And I was like, golly, I didn't realize so many people know so much, but they do. But effectively, we were on the Star of the Seas from Royal Caribbean. That ship has just went into service, I think it was like August maybe of last year, August, September. So, I mean, it's effectively a brand new ship. And it was, yeah, it was just stellar. The ship itself was awesome. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask. I cannot multitask and talk at the same time. What was I going to say? The entertainment was just phenomenal on it. Some of the best shows that I've ever seen. I mean, whether it's on a ship or not. I've only been on two other cruises. That was the third. Coming down here because I'm going to try to send a message real quick. So I apologize. Pause. Let's copy from here. Where's my copy button? But not only like ship related, but in general, like some of the best entertainment performance type shows that I've seen anywhere. And I will say, I don't think I've ever seen, I've been to New York a bunch of times, but I don't pretty confidently can say I don't think I've ever seen a Broadway show. Pretty sure I have not that I can remember. So I'm pretty sure it's no. But I've seen some shows in Vegas, and those are pretty good, like Cirque du Soleil shows. But the shows that I've seen, is one in particular on Star, was just far and above anything I'd ever seen before. So, yeah, we'll definitely be back at some point. Let's send this out. Oops. All right, just thought to share that out and did. Thank you for the moment for that. Yeah, the kids loved the idea of cruising, and the ship, that was the first one they had been on. I asked Daniel, our son, about kind of how he compared it to other vacations that he's been on, in the past, and he basically said that this was far and above his favorite vacation that he's ever been on. And this, obviously, as a 12-year-old, he's been on quite a few that we've taken, and yeah, he basically said he doesn't want to go anywhere else anymore, that he just wants to go on cruises. Which I don't think is going to work in his favor, but not completely. But it did make us interested in doing more in the future because they enjoyed it so much. All right, so side A, as we'll call it, on those 6 is done. Those are really hot, so I need to let those cool. I mentioned it earlier. I don't know if maybe see some of that outline. It's so hard to tell because I see a tiny, tiny picture. But I'm just going to hit this real quick because I can tell that's moisture on that rubber platen. So I'm just going to hit that real quick, a couple seconds. Single hand lift, just enough to dry that out. And this time, let's see, that's going to be 24. Do I have the other ones? They're way at the bottom. I don't have to dig those out. Trying to move stuff around to go ahead and kind of set up and move to these taller ones while these cool down. And Pam asked, I just saw a comment, I see above about butcher paper sheets. Are you using sheets or do you pre-tear them? So I don't I'm surprised that like that doesn't come across like crazy loud when I do tear them. I have a big roll that's right over there on a shelf, and the roll itself is on the stand basically to be able to tear them off. So I buy the entire roll. Yeah, there was a question there I kind of went over that Angie was asking about like where I get them from, and I know historically a bunch of people got them from Sam's, and the 18-inch roll that was such a spectacular deal. Apparently, from what I've seen in the groups, Pam is local to me, so Pam, I've never seen it in our Sam's. I've looked a couple of times for it, and I've never seen it in there. But I'll say that what I saw posted in groups, Facebook groups, was that Sam's had effectively discontinued it, stopped selling it. I don't know. Maybe that was just out of it for the time being. I don't know if they're planning on bringing it back or not or what. But what I'll say is that I know that they don't. The last that I saw, they didn't have it at all. And I think in the past we were able to order it, but I never did. I get mine from Uline, which is where I get all the boxes, empty boxes from that I ship all the orders in. I have not found or haven't seen anything that's like just a stellar deal similar to what Sam's had in the past. I have seen some people actually just reminded me, because technically it's butcher paper. Butcher paper meaning food service, like food butcher, you know, slicing up your meat. It's uncoated, unwaxed. So in terms of like meat and juices, if you will, they'll go right through this, as opposed to the waxed and coated stuff that those would hold inside, you know, the roll of the paper. The big thing for sublimation is the uncoated, unwaxed, but butcher paper, and tying back to that, I have heard people mention that you can get it from like food supply stores. And I know, Pam, because I know where you live, there's the Kesco, the kitchen supply place that's out there by you. They may actually have it, and I don't know what kind of deal they would have on, but that's potentially something to check into, for us anyways. But kitchen supply type stuff is something to think of. But yeah, when those rolls are shipped, it's usually crazy expensive. Yeah, I used to order and they shipped it. I just ordered a roll from Amazon. Yeah, no. Yeah, and the roll from Amazon, like the first couple of rolls that I ever got, like they're relatively inexpensive as well. And I think those sellers realized how expensive it was to ship those rolls. And then I think they adjusted the price accordingly based on those shipping prices. So these, the way they're cut off, oddly enough, spray these upside down so I can grab more of this white space here. And this one was on the other side of the page, so it's right side up. But I'm going to go spray these real quick, and then I'll be right back. And yeah, I was thinking about checking with him. Yeah, it's definitely worth a shot. I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. Mention too. Let me see if there's any other. Okay, no other comments yet. Pam, I'll mention to you because I know you're on your phone a lot. Have you checked out Whatnot yet? Whatnot being the app called Whatnot. 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 And I'll pause there for you to answer. And then I'll comment back afterwards. After I see your answer. I haven't seen one yet. Because I know I mentioned it. I've mentioned it on a couple of the lives I've done lately. Lives. And yeah. I'll try to talk some more about that in a moment. All right, we got those. Let me get 3 more. 3, 2, 3. And I'm going to spray these, and I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. And I think you sent a comment. So let me slide these over real quick and then I'll read it. Let me, yeah, I was making sure I unmuted because I'm over here talking again. Let me drop these on and then I'll read that. See a tiny, tiny speck got on there somehow. There we go. And this one. All right. Now these, I think I did vertically. Trying to make sure they don't fall off. Heat press vertically. Here. There. And here. Oh, here, let me flip this one over. That way, I can get them a little closer to the center. Try to get everything semi-centered up, middle of the press. All right, and she said, I don't think I've heard of that. Yes, you can, Angie. Whatnot, you can find all kinds of things. So, in short, since Pam says she didn't hear of it, Whatnot is a kind of like a live shopping network, if you will, but network in the sense of social platform, if you will, meaning that like individual users, it's not like home shopping network where it's a large network selling things. It's like eBay meets Etsy meets live selling all together. And so, and individual sellers can set up their shows all sort of different ways. They can sell different ways. They can, it's primarily auction based, but they can run individual buy it now listings as well, where they just have a set price for an item. All sort of different things, but there's all kind of stuff on there. It's growing. It's probably been out for 2 or 3 years now. I've only been on it for probably the last 4 to 6 months. And how I heard about it was actually from this guy that I'm making these koozies for right now. And my power just went out. One moment. And we're back. I think. Hope. And did you guys see that? That was fun. In the middle of pressing. I think that was like the entire house for some reason. Just making sure, hopefully I'm actually back. I don't think I have most everything critical on battery backup. So should still be good here. It got dark for a minute. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. It got dark. That was awesome while I'm literally lifting up the heat press. I've never had the press cause anything, so it was odd, but I noticed power went off elsewhere here too, so I know it wasn't just me. But yeah, it messed up my whatnot train of thought, in that the seller, Matt, awesome dude, Matt from Surf Shack Golf, started off with asking me if I'd made stickers. He did years and years ago. He did a golf, I don't know if it was a charity event or what, but the request that I got years ago was, hey, can you make some stickers for this event? And I was like, sure, yeah, no problem. And now, come around years later, he's decided to be a seller on Whatnot, selling golf stuff. And for the golf business itself, hey, can you make some stickers? And initially, I just got the request via Facebook message or text message, I don't remember. And I just responded, yep, sure, no problem. Made the stickers. And when I shipped them out to him, I was like, hey, so just curious, where are you selling this golf stuff at? And he was like, oh, I'm selling on this app called Whatnot. He sent me a join link and everything, and set up an account. And man, I've only primarily spent time in the golf community itself on there, and watching some of the sellers of golf items. I've kind of gotten involved myself, my dad, brother, playing golf, you know, occasionally. Once every 2-ish months or so, we'll try to go play. But you know, there's some interest there, and so I've kind of joined and just watched some of those shows and everything, and been able to see some of the sellers and get linked up with different sellers. You know, he's referred me to other people to make things for him, and so I'm making these koozies now. But there's all kinds of stuff on there. I've seen things from trading cards. I've seen all sort of pottery type stuff. I've seen electronics. I've seen tools. All kinds of stuff. And the platform itself, the platform's growing. I know the TikTok itself has TikTok Shop, and it's a live thing, and it's growing. What I've read and seen, heard, is that the live selling marketplace for doing exactly shows like that, over the course of the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years is, you know, one, exploding, but it's basically going to be, you know, multi-billion to trillion-dollar business in terms of the live selling platforms. And Whatnot's one of the main places to do that. If you look it up, there's some articles, I want to say I saw one in Forbes or Fortune 500 from like a year ago that talked about how big that it was at that time. So, and it's only grown exponentially since then. So enough on that. Check it out. It's pretty cool. I can send a referral link as well, and I think you get some shop credit if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to jump back to these because that'll finish these up for me. I'm just going to do the back. I keep saying back like it's a front and a back, but side B. And yeah, appreciate y'all hanging out. All right, and the back. Did my... It did. My music ended. Let's restart. I don't know how long ago that ended. Not that big of a deal, but you guys are hanging out. When I leave the room, it's like silence. You're just watching a heat press not move. It's got to be fun and entertaining, right? So on the music aspect, as you notice, this is like possibly weird, eclectic. It's weird. Tonight streaming, for whatever reason, I can tell that it's the music itself is coming across the stream because I can see a little audio bar bouncing across when I hit play just then. But when I'm streaming here on YouTube, for whatever reason, it's not allowing me to hear it. And I'd like to hear the music while I work. But what I was going to say was the choice on music. I would like to play other music, but the Book of Faces, for one, and I know YouTube does it as well, kind of dings you for using pop, copywritten music. So I can't do that, because if I do, they'll basically mute my audio, and then you wouldn't be able to hear me talk. So I can't do that. So I've got to find some non-copywritten music, and it's the best that I've found so far that works. A little bit up-tempo, upbeat. I'm gonna go spray these, and I'll be right back. All right, so yeah, I've had that happen on a few of my Facebook Lives where I got a notification after live saying, hey, we recognize you're using licensed music and you're not licensed to do that. And I'm like, well, I pay a subscription to use it, but they don't know that, and it is what it is. Somehow I got some dust on here. Luckily that came off of the adhesive pretty easily. But yeah, they muted my stream because I mean I was playing straight from iTunes, which I have a subscription to, but they don't check, or there's no way to check or do anything with that. So they force you to either, I need to look at the YouTube. There's some I'm trying to think of what it's called, a library, if you will, I think, on YouTube that has a variety of different music choices, but I literally just searched like royalty-free music, and there's some popular ones come up for doing like video game streams, which I think is kind of, I never got into watching other people play video games. I kind of think that's odd, but at the same time, people watch other people play sports, right? So when you watch professional sports, baseball, basketball, whatever, you're watching somebody else perform, and it's really the same thing with video gaming. Like, they're just playing a video game and you're watching them play a video game. So it's really, some people get weirded out by it, but it's really not that much different. You just got to be into that genre, if you will, of sport. So if like the young people these days are growing up being more active in video gaming community, and some of them enjoy watching other people play, pick up on different tactics, techniques, and whatnot, similar to how kids would watch people play, professionals play football, or, you know, collegiate athletes and whatnot, like, oh, I can do that, you know, pick up same thing. So it's similar in that mindset. You like how I tied that together? All right, so I've got 24 of those done now. I need to grab something to drink. My throat is getting parched. All right, drop that down. Need to get, oh, that's the ones I did. Get these out. So I will say, in this context, obviously I'm pressing these, but I do sell the blank koozies, if you will, beverage insulators, on my website. So you can buy them blank, and you could press them if you are a sublimator. It's the coolest way to say it, right? Sublimator. So you don't have to buy them finished. I actually don't do a whole lot of pressed stuff. The majority of the business that I do anymore is more on the wholesale business to business side, selling to other businesses. In this case, I'm making these for another business, more so than a direct to end consumer, you know, just making personalized products, that sort of thing. Ooh, almost dropped one on the floor, and who knows what kind of dust that would have picked up. Second save of the night. Last one was a transfer. All right, so let's set the small transfers aside. Let's go back to the tall boys. Got these. Just double check. Yeah. All right, so I've been, man, taking me an hour and a half. About an hour and a half, because it took me a while to get the stream set up at the beginning. First time I've been live on Facebook. Check my messages real quick. All good. Just making sure. Got an order for some ink that came in. Well, I've been here. Let me go spray these, and I'll be right back. I spent a handful of minutes when I first hopped on here, because this is my first YouTube live. When I first hopped on here earlier, I spent some time trying to get the audio set up. And while I can see that it's playing for you guys, I would love to be able to hear it for me, but it's literally just silence in here and a whole lot of me talking to myself, or what sounds like me talking to myself. So I'm gonna have to figure that out later, because I like a little bit of background music while I'm working typically, but I'd rather have it for you guys in the stream, because I know I keep walking out of here to go do the spray adhesive on these, and then it's dead silence and you're staring at a heat press that's not moving. So that's not, can't be enjoyable. All right, just looking for comments real quick. Just trying to keep up with the chat. Just get these and I'll be back again. I will say one thing that I enjoyed so far when I've went live a couple of times on TikTok is that it actually shows me who is joined into the live, and I can see that in real time, and so I can comment and have a conversation. Even if you're not commenting, I can see who's in there, and I can at least say hi and those sort of things. On here, it looks like it says there's 2 people watching, I think. But there's no list of like names that I know. Pam and Angie have been in here for the majority of the show, so I'm assuming it's them. But I don't know that for sure. But if there's somebody else that had joined in, welcome. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me this evening. And I actually just noticed there hadn't been a comment since the power had went out. It got dark for a minute. That's the last comment, so that portion's a little bit concerning, but it looks like the time ticker is moving just fine, so I'm assuming the stream is still good. Maybe a bad assumption. All right, trying to get these centered up. Close-ish. Where's the top of this? That looks pretty good. Just noticed, I guess the mic itself filters that paper tearing pretty well. Wow. I happened to look over while I was tearing that paper and did a really good job of filtering that noise out. Or at least it looked like it did. So if you are new and just joined in, 425 for 20-ish seconds on these. I tried to pull that a little early. I don't love hearing that thing beep all the time. Pull that gingerly. Try to reduce any shifting of these while it's coming off, and then try to go through and pull them quickly as opposed to like letting them drift to where they could potentially have a ghosting effect on there that happens sometimes. Six more done. And this paper here is really to protect the bottom platen. I don't know if you can see any of the ink on there from those transfers, but that definitely does happen. So this paper is protecting our bottom pad. Sadly, I go through a bunch of paper to protect bottom pad, top platen. Just how it works out. All right, let's try to grab 6 more. That's 5. 6 more. If you're just joining in, feel free to say hi. I'm just hanging out doing a bunch of these koozies. I say a bunch, it's really 50-ish. 50, yeah. 25 of the regular size, or regular can, 12-ounce can size, and then these are the tall skinnies. 50 of these. I've pressed all, well, technically 40, no, I'm sorry, 25 of the small ones, 25 of these. I pressed 24 of the other ones, both sides already, and I've pressed 12 one side only of these so far, so I still have to press the other side, but 6 more here. Grab our transfers. See some numbers adding up over there, so I'm assuming we've got some new folks that joined in. Welcome, welcome. Got our transfers here. If you're new to sublimation, that's exactly what these are. Sublimation transfers. The ink of this will transfer with heat out of this paper and into these beauties. I need to go spray these with some, that's what we're making. This front side, I still got to do the back. Spray some temporary adhesive on here. I'm gonna go do that now, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. See, it shows it's showing me that there's 4 viewers live right now. There has been 2 in here for a while, so I'm assuming there's 2 newbies in that joined us. Thank you for joining. Feel free to say hi. Not required, but if you'd like to, I'll say hi back. Or you could just be a lurker. That's fine too. Stay in the shadows. It's posted publicly. Not that big of a deal either way. All right, we got those 3. Do 3 more. I need to grab 3 more transfers. These here. I'm just gonna quick check. Sorry, I'm just looking at messages real quick. Making sure other messages from other platforms, all the things. All right, good to go. I'm gonna go get some temporary adhesive on these, and I'll be right back. All right, got these in. Dodging over there, seeing if there's new comments. Trying to look around the camera. Don't see any. I'm gonna keep on keeping on. Just trying to get these centered up and get them pressed. Pam, if you're still in here, what have you thought about the weather here lately? We were coming back on Sunday when we got the whole Arctic blast. Stepping off of a cruise ship that had been in the Caribbean to that was not exactly enjoyable. All right, hopefully we're good there. Let's see, I'm gonna turn this around this way just because this extra piece, I'm trying to get the extraness up there at the top or hanging off at the bottom. Like so. I mentioned earlier there's a ton of different ways to do these. This is just how I choose to do them. That's most successful for me. If you do them differently, amazing. As long as you're getting the results that you want. That's the thing that I care about most, is the final output and making sure that you're getting good results to your customers. And Pam says, I'm ready for spring and the time change. The time change, yes. I'm glad the days are obviously increasingly getting longer. I've noticed that. But yeah, the time change itself would be incredible. It's supposed to be really nice, I think, this weekend, here at least. Sorry if you don't live in Florida and you don't have this nicer, warmer weather coming in. Saw some messages earlier about people who are still getting snow or just got snow. Saw some people had snow days today. Glad I don't have that. All right, good to go there. Show these off again, at least the tall ones. So these, that's 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need to move this out of the way. I see a little outline here of some moisture that's down there, so I'm just going to drop that down for a second. And I see both of you just commented, and now my viewers is back down to 2, so I know it's just both of you in here. Angie, where are you at? I asked that question as I was tearing paper, so I don't know if it came across, but I was asking Angie, where are you located state-wise? Got some little, should have showed that. Has some little hairs or fibers, threads from the sides that had come off, and because my hand is getting a little bit of the tackiness to it from that spray, threads were sticking to my hand. Cold Midwest, yeah. Yeah. Probably be cold for a little while longer up there, right? 1, 2, 3. Fortunately, I am in Florida, and while it is cold, has been cold, what is it, 43 degrees outside right now, so my watch says. It's cold for us. I'm sure it doesn't compare to what yours are. What yours is, your temperature is. All right, I'm gonna go spray these. I will say I do absolutely appreciate both of you hanging out this evening. I noticed from my TikTok streams that they basically look at number of active viewership minutes, and as well as like how many comments have been made and things of that nature, for like the metrics on how well, like performance of your live and that sort of thing. I don't know what really they play into. It could be like how they like boost your content or trying to get it on more front pages and that sort of thing. So I'll say that and saying I have no idea how YouTube does theirs, but I'm sure it's similar in terms of having you guys here. I'm sure can only help my channel here, as this is the first live I've done over here. 25 degrees feels like 13 with the wind. Warmer than it was last week. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so Angie, let me tell you this. I got off of a ship, or you've been here a while, so you heard me talk a little bit about the cruise. I was in Port Canaveral. We came in Port Canaveral, Orlando area. So at an hour-ish. Port Canaveral is roughly an hour-ish west of Orlando, somewhere in that area, where all the SpaceX launches happened at over there. Nonetheless, Sunday, we got off the ship, actually woke up Sunday morning, and it was, I think it was 26 degrees there in Port Canaveral, and the wind chill was 6 degrees when I woke up. And we had to, basically deboard, get off the ship. We had to go load luggage in the vehicle and do all that stuff outside. I did not prepare properly. And I'm saying this like I'm over here looking at your comment. I got off that ship, and when I had looked at the 10-day forecast in advance of the cruise, I was seeing that it was showing like the 60-ish, like the high was going to be like 58, something like that. Well, when I woke up and saw that the wind chill was 6, it was not good for me, because all I had packed was t-shirts and shorts. And so it warmed up maybe a few degrees by the time we got off the ship, because we woke up at like 6:30 or so, and we got off the ship, it was probably 9. So it warmed up a little bit, I'm sure, but I didn't look at it. I know it was freezing cold, and I'm in t-shirt and shorts, loading the luggage rack back on the back of the vehicle, luggage back in there, trying to strap that stuff down, because not everything fit in the vehicle with 3 kids that we got. So yeah, I was out there probably a solid 30-ish minutes loading that stuff up in shorts and a t-shirt. It was lesson learned of packing warmer clothes when you do a January cruise, that's for sure. At least one set. Yep. So yeah, it was quite a shock to wake up to see those temps. I knew it was supposed to be colder, but like when we were looking a couple days out, we had seen that forecast, and it was like, but yeah, once I seen it that morning, it was worse than I had even expected. I'll be right back one more time, or probably a few more times. Oh, no sound again. Thank you for the heads up on that. What I was mentioning was that I had just shared the thing out. What I was doing there was sharing the link out to Blake. Blake is another seller on Whatnot, but he is 16 years old. He's in like I think somewhere upstate New York-ish area. I don't remember exactly. Somewhere over there. I'm sure he's plenty cold as well. I saw he was running I think I saw he was live earlier today on running a Whatnot show. But I've got some stickers that I've got to make for Mr. Blake as well, and I'll probably do those tomorrow night is my guess. I'm somehow short. Oh, no, not 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm about to make too many. I've got 24 of those already done. So I don't need to do these. Put those back aside. Let me grab these other ones. Let's see if that's Mr. Blake that joined in. He said, I'll hop on now. 15. He texted me and said 15. You're 15, dude? That's awesome. So I am not 15. I know we've shared tons of text messages. I'm not 15. I make your stickers, Blake. Good to meet you. And, well, this way, YouTube. I'm making, you know who these are for. I'm making some koozies. Let's see if, but yeah. So I've got side A done there. Let me see if I do grab 3 of these for now, because I can only do 3 at a time. And what I've got to spray these. And Blake, I don't know if you've got, if you have a Google account and can comment here on the live in the chat, just let me know. Or if you can, it's just easier to obviously do everything in one chat versus looking at text messages also. But I need to go spray these with some spray adhesive, and it gets all over the place in here. So I've been doing that. I've got a big box in my garage that I spray this at. And I'm gonna walk in there now. I've been muting my mic while I go in here because it's kind of awkward to be talking. I'm gonna spray 2 quick little bursts. I have no idea if that come across or not. But walk back in the room and see if we can get the backs of these positioned. Blake, did you run a show? If you're still in here, did you run a show today? I thought I saw your name pop up. There's so many people that I follow on there now that it's hard to keep track of everybody who goes live. At least on a daily basis. Oh, he said he never clicked on YouTube. That's so funny. There he is. Yeah, so did you, I don't know if you got that question or not, but did you run a show today? If so, how did that go? We got Mr. 15-year-old seller Blake in here. Oh, you're going to. Gotcha. Copy that. So yeah, I'm making these for Mr. Matt. Got the front side done. I keep saying front side like there's a front and a back, but it's a koozie, so it's more of a side A and side B. I go spray this side. I'm gonna do that, and then I'll be right back and press these. So I will say Blake and I have exchanged a variety of messages, and I've seen him run his shows and do his lives. And this is the first time he's seen me run anything here and do anything live to kind of meet, if you will. I will say, Blake, I did see your message about those other stickers in addition to yours, and my plan, what I mentioned just a little bit ago, was I'm planning on doing all of those probably tomorrow night. If not tomorrow, to be Saturday. I'll wrap all of these up here shortly. There's a total of 100 of these that I've almost done on. I didn't do all 100 tonight. I've done effectively 50. But this process here is called sublimation. I don't know if you're familiar or not. I kind of assume you're not, but basically print is on a transfer paper. This heat press is going to heat that ink up. The ink will release through magic and special effects in Hollywood out of this paper, and it's going to fuse itself inside of the fibers of the fabric, and it will never wash out or fade in any way. Trying to make sure I've got everything kind of centered on here. Go up just a little bit, and I'm going to cover that. And this cover protects ink from getting on the upper side of this heat press. And these press at 420 degrees for about 20 seconds. All right, I was just looking at comments real quick. And I really wish there was a better setup with camera-wise, that I could have that in a wider view, but I've got that camera as far back as I possibly can. But the heat press is the star of this show. Can you guys see the steam come off of that? I don't know if you can. It was like a big cloud of steam that just came off of there. It's probably been doing it the whole time, but that was the first time I truly paid attention to how much it was this evening. And voila. The power and magic of Hollywood. Not quite. Not Michael Bay special effects over here. But now we have, I'll call side A, nice daytime beach scene, and then a nice sunset on side B on 6 koozies. Trying to stack those out of the way. Grab some more paper. So Blake, I talked to Blake earlier today actually about streaming here on YouTube. Talked about streaming on some different platforms, and I was trying to get his opinion from the younger crowd, if you will, on where to do stuff like this that would potentially, you know, help build community, get out to other people that I don't currently or typically reach. And I've had the YouTube channel for years now, but it's the first time I've ever gone live on it. Some content here on the channel for print work stuff that I do. Some is more instructional for other printers. But yeah, let me go spray these and I'll be right back. If you guys got any questions, feel free to drop them in chat. So I know a while back, I guess it's been a few weeks ago now, Blake, I shared like a mock-up of a towel. Talked about doing maybe some golf towels or something like that for you. So this is effectively the same process when I do towels. It's just a different physical item. Obviously, instead of just the koozies, and then the towels themselves, because of the size, I just do one at a time, as opposed to being able to do multiple of these at once. But other than that, That's the same process. This ink is permanently dyed into the fabric, and the same thing happens on the towels. There's no cracking, peeling, fading. If they stay out in direct sunlight, they can fade, I guess, in that sense, but not from like a washability. You can wash these as many times as you want or need to, and it's not going to wash the color out of the thing by any means. And the same thing's the case on the towels as well. He said, definitely want to do some towels. Yeah, absolutely. You just need to come up with like a design, like kind of what you want to do with them. And obviously, if you want to keep the current logo, or how long you want to wait on getting the new one, if you want to do something different there. But from a graphic standpoint, we can pretty much put kind of any kind of background. Get back in here. All right, we can kind of do any kind of background. Like these are literally like just stock images of the beach, but they could be golf course stuff. If there's any golf courses in your particular area, pictures that you have or anything like that, we could do those as well. But yeah, we can definitely play around with it and see what we come up with for you. And that's kind of why I mentioned earlier on your other stickers in terms of like the camo, because I already have the logo obviously, and just to drop that digital kind of texture, if you will, in is super easy for me to do. And similar on these, like if it's like, where'd my other transfer go? If I wanted to change out like the background of this, it's really easy to just change that to another picture. And actually the first ones of these I did for Matt had a different picture. It was actually a golf course that was at a beach, and I really like that, but they wanted to change it up, do something a little different with the full beach here. But other than that, it's pretty much the same process that I've been doing almost all night now. Whole lot of rinse and repeat on just doing the same thing over and over again, just based on quantity that's needed. I think Matt is calling him soon. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. On the logos. Are you having ball markers done too? So I know that was obviously something that James usually does, is the ball markers. So press these for a few seconds and we'll pull them off. After this, I've got 12 more to do, and then that'll be it for the evening. Been here a while. 2 hours and 15 minutes I've been on here. That's crazy. Which I know too, I've done quite a bit of story time and stopped, so hasn't been only me plowing through the work here. But front, back, side A, side B. These are awesome. He's also doing ball markers, so I'm waiting for the logo. I gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. Can't wait to see this. I really like the ones he just did for Matt. Did you see the latest ones? Let me do this. That way I can see. It's so weird when I'm talking and my head's cut off when I look over at the screen. Those newest ones that Matt had done with the hand, basically, where it comes out of the center, those are pretty cool. First one of those that I've seen that was like, I've seen them, what are they called, like mass-produced ones before, but those are the first like custom runs from like a whatnot shop that had that two-piece deal. So I thought those were pretty cool. Appreciate anybody who's joined in. Feel free to say hi. If you're new, let me know rough area, I guess, where you're from. I'm down in Florida. And even in Florida, it's 43 degrees outside right now. It is something to chat about that's not this if you don't really know what I'm doing, but pressing koozies. And I gotta go spray these with some tacky adhesive. I don't spray that in here because it makes a mess and gets everything sticky and tacky. So I spray that in the garage in a big box that I've got. I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So it's kind of wild to me to look over and see, like, for the last, I don't know, probably 2 hours that I've been on here, we've had the solid Pam and Angie that have been in, and I appreciate them so much for hanging out for 2-ish hours pretty much. But I look over now and see there's 7 of you in here, or at least it says it's 7. Maybe it's lying to me, but thank you guys for joining in. I appreciate it. I'm getting close to wrapping up and being finished with these. I've got these 6 to do and then 6 more of just the B side, and then I'll be done. But if you want to hang out for a few more minutes, I've got to grab 3 more transfers. 1, 2, 3. And hold these like a full hand of Uno cards that got some +4s ganging up on us. And let me go spray these and I'll be right back. And we're back. Now I get to press in just a moment. We've got these last 3 to get lined up. Press down, and what that adhesive spray allows me to do, I don't want to make it fall off there, but kind of like this, where the koozie is stuck to the paper, at least to some degree. And it allows it to stay centered where I want it when I flip the page itself over. Because I don't like to try to eyeball that alignment, because you can get it, you know, off a 1/4 inch or whatever. This makes sure that I'm aligned where I want to be. I'm centered at the page, centered in the design. There is some extra printed around the edge. I don't know if that comes across. You can kind of see left and right. It's not truly a class on sublimation, but I'm just showing what we're doing. There, pretty good. That felt like it moved, and it did just ever so slightly. Probably a little bit of light spray on this one. Be a little more careful in turning it, and hopefully we don't ruin one. If we do, that'd be the first one of the night out of the almost 50 that I've done. Which is okay. It happens. Every now and then we get some casualties. Just trying to get these lined up. And we'll press. And then there were the 2. It shows back down to 2. All right. Press out there. These things do come out hot. They are still nice and toasty. One more set of 6 to do, and I will call it. And at that point, holy smokes, it'll be 2.5 hours that I'll have been on here. Truthfully, I do this or some other similar-ish print work pretty much every night, and I'm trying to get more active and actually streaming it and sharing it. Just because people can join in, just chat, hang out like you guys are doing, and share not only how awesome these substrates are, but some of the capabilities and things I can do for you, help you out with. Or show you tips and tricks based on how I do it that you can apply and use yourself. Or you look at it and say, I don't want to do it that way at all. And you do it some other way. And that's okay too. Home stretch. The last 6. And then there were 6 left. Three more there. 1, 2, 3. Get these things as wide as I can so I can apply as much adhesive to the face of them as possible. I think that's what happened on the one earlier. I had quite a bit of it covered up because I didn't have it quite as wide to be able to get some of this adhesive all over it, and I think it just got a small amount on an edge. But they all still turned out pretty well. Double check comments, nothing new yet, which is fine too. Just want to make sure I don't miss any. Want to answer any questions or comments you guys have. It's over here. Alright, I think that should be the last one. Move these down here. Get these flipped back up. Just double checking that one. If you saw me flip back over, it's because I thought I felt it move, but it didn't. So pretty good there. Good here. And at this point, you should know how to make these things. Right. 10 seconds. And crossing fingers that these all came out good. and no remakes are required, ideally. Looks great. Sweet. All right, well, that's all done for now. Let's move this out of the way because it's not as great of looking. Let's get rid of our moisture on the pad, just in case that comes across. Drop these on here. Drop these on. Trying to make them look pretty for a picture I can take to wrap this up, put a pretty bow on it. I should have turned them the other way, right? I'm going to take a picture with my camera and I'm going to stand on this side. But for you guys, I can flip the camera. I can crop it however I want and need to. How's that? Good-ish. I'll grab my background things later and do a thing with those, but for now, that should work. And let's see if we rotate on the camera. Done. Beautiful. Ooh, does that show? Does that show? Share that to the social medias. Cool. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this evening. Knocked out 50 koozies live. 2.5 hours. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream now. Like I said, I'll try to do this again. Let me move over here as I'm talking to you guys. Try to do this again soon. Been trying to do it, like I said earlier, more often, and obviously I'm doing this stuff, like I said, pretty much every night at this point, doing some form of printing, whether it's stickers, decals, banners, stuff like this, and just trying to get consistent with sharing more of it. So I'm gonna try to do that. I'll post about it, share whenever, but hit the follow, like, subscribe, all those things on any of the channels so you get notifications whenever I do. And otherwise, I hope you guys have a good night, good week. Weekend is coming up, and see you guys again soon. Take care.